Little change of scenery for you guys. This will be a push session from Uno Fitness in Scranton, PA. Starting with chest, transitioning to front, then side delts and triceps. First exercise shown here is an incline dumbbell press using a moderate incline. Looks like it's between about 20 and 25 degrees. This is my top set shown. I didn't record any of my warm-up sets. Top set of the 100-pound dumbbells for about 6 reps, and then I believe it was help on the 7th. And what I'm looking for with this is I'm just trying to keep braced and looking for maximum output on the first exercise. I have been doing reverse band incline Smith machine a lot, but decided to switch it up. Got a real good spotter to help me extend my set to get myself out of the bottom and then transition to the top where tension will drop off significantly. As for cues, like I said before, keeping my feet braced into the floor at about 90 degrees, driving my hips down into the bench, shoulder blades locked down and back, and then working to press up, but not only up, also across, trying to jam my bicep into the side of my pec. This is the second set shown here. Didn't back off as substantially as I normally do since this was my first exercise. I wanted to keep the weights moderately heavy. So went from the 100s to the 95s, only gained about a rep, and then because there was only one 85-pound dumbbell for some reason, I only went back down to 90s, and then from there just added one more rep on top of that for 3 total sets of the incline dumbbell press to start out. After that, you will see I transitioned into a machine press, and of course being at a new gym, trying to test out the waters and use some machinery that I would not normally find. So after I came with my traditional incline dumbbell press movement shown here, I transitioned to more machine work. And as you'll see here, this is a flat bench machine, plate loaded at the back. You can't actually really see the plates because I'm blocking them. But the advantage of using this machine, as you see as I come to the top, the handles converge. So that will really match what the pec actually does. So most machines will simply just come up and down. But with this one working to converge toward the middle of my sternum, and that will help to benefit alignment of the pec fibers through the shoulder joint as well as profile. So another advantage, like I was talking about with the plates, with this machine. Next time I train here, I will definitely get a picture or video of how the plates actually travel. And the plates will travel up and down. And as I unrack the load from the machine, they are at their farthest point away from the lever, hence the most tension being exerted in the length and range, which will match what we can produce. And the plates will actually get a little bit closer to the machine, and tension will drop off slightly. It's not the biggest drop, but it does help. And that's something you can't get with a barbell or a dumbbell. Machine press, again, I stayed with 3 sets using my traditional principle of drop-down sets. My top set shown was of about 6 reps, and then from there, peeling off enough weight that I was able to hit about 8 reps my second set, and then 11 reps here on my last set. All these rep ranges can vary based on your training block, but this is what I've been doing very recently with my bout of neurological and hypertrophy training, which I'd really like to be able to get into in another video to explain exactly the training phases and when you can program them. Finishing out with my little bit of metabolic work for chest. And this is how I really like to pair metabolic work. Starting with an exercise that will overload the shortened position and spending time in that shortened position for the pecs. So I selected a Pec Deck, and as you'll see, each rep I'm holding for about a second or 2 at the top of the rep at the peak contraction in that short range. So once I get that, and once I fail in that position, I won't grind out partial reps like I would normally do if I was doing this exercise alone. Now why do I do that? Because the pairing of my next exercise, which you will see, is the Flat Dumbbell Fly. The Dumbbell Fly will be able to accurately produce tension at the bottom of the rep, or the length and range of the pec. So I don't want to fatigue myself on the Pec Deck where the load and the length and range may not be appropriate. So as we transition to the Flat Dumbbell Fly, you'll see me keeping braced through the bench and also going down and spending about a second or 2 in the stretch position. You saw me spend a second or 2 in the contracted position for the Pec Deck. This is the opposite with the Flat Dumbbell Fly. Just think of spending time where it sucks. That will be the top of the Pec Deck, the bottom of the Dumbbell Fly. failing there, and then transition to my final exercise in the tricep, an output-based movement, simply just some body weight dips till failure. Just after hitting the shorten and lengthen range, looking to get a few more reps for some additional metabolic stress. Moving along to front delts. Another machine that I like. Why? Is you'll see the plates converge slightly to the middle. Again, benefiting alignment of the front delt fibers, but also the profile that we're looking for. Exerting maximal force down at the bottom in the lengthen range and having a slight drop off in tension as we get to the top. Programming for the front delts here, this machine press was all I did. One exercise of 3 sets. Again, utilizing the drop down set principle. Top set of about 6 reps, second set of about 8 reps, and then my third set of about 10 reps. A really nice machine here, allows for great bracing to push back through the ground and also into the bench, and allows for partial reps, something that if you were going with a barbell or a dumbbell, depending on your bench, and if you're specifically using a barbell, you have to have some kind of rack in front of you to finish with the negative range and some partial reps for safety purposes, but machines always provide that benefit to do partial reps at the end of your set, especially when training alone. So as I finish up my final set here for front delts, nothing too crazy, and I feel this has benefited me very much with my delt training, specifically backing off volume and increasing frequency. Moving along to side delts, my one and only side delt movement is the lying cuff lateral raise, bringing a bench over to a dual cable cross station. 3 sets, and I actually stuck with the same weight for 3 sets. And on the final set, I performed a triple drop set to extend the set. As for cues on this one, you'll see my feet locked into the ground, my pelvis pulled down into the bench, shoulder blades again keeping big. Also, you have to be mindful of where your side delt will actually align. So depending on the shoulder joint of the individual, you'll have to internally or externally rotate so that side delt is doing the work. After the 3 sets, I moved on to 2-arm cross pushdowns for triceps, again seated, giving myself some additional bracing, driving my back into the seat. 3 sets, same principle as the cuff laterals, sticking with the same weight for about 8 to 10 reps, and then on that third set, going for a triple drop set. And I just recorded the top sets, or the first set of each of them, since the weight was actually the same, and didn't want to get too redundant with the drops. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little change of scenery, push session. Be sure to keep posted, and you will see more videos coming from Uno Fitness.